I think I'm okay. There's a little bit of noise. I can hear like there's a lot going on in the background, so I hope that you guys can't hear too much noise in the background. But today I'm going to be filming my how I contour my nose video. Yes, it is finally here. I actually didn't get too many requests to make this video online, but it is my most frequently asked question in real life when I do a client's makeup. The main thing that most of them say, like literally 98% of them say, wow, how did you do that to my nose? Wow, that is the best nose contour that I've ever had. I'm not tooting my own horn here, I am a little bit, but I'm not saying that my way of contouring the nose is the best. By any means, I don't mean that at all. I'm just saying that is something that I frequently get told. They may not say anything about anything else, but they will always say something about how I contour somebody's nose. To be honest with you guys, my nose contour has been a freaking journey. If you go back to like old videos of mine, you will see a lot of a change. It's a slight change. I used to do it so intense and I used to use a powder that was too orange, and let me just say it's just been a journey. So it took me a really long time to get my own kind of like signature way of doing my nose contour, and I can't reiterate this enough. I'm not saying I'm the best at it. I'm just saying that I've found a way that I think looks really good and suits my features, and I think that it works really well on most people in general. So I also want to quickly say this is like my new favorite hairstyle. I know it's very like, it's the clip, it's very 90s. My mum used to wear her hair like this. I don't even know why I wanted to bring that up, but it's like my favorite way of doing my hair at the moment. But that's not what this video is about. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys like tips and tricks and how I do it and what brushes I think are the best. So let's just get straight into it. I don't want this video to be long. That was not the point of this video. I just wanted this video to be a quick and easy way of how I show you guys how I like to contour my nose in depth. So I might zoom you guys in a little bit. There we go. Okay, so wait, let me just fix this real quick. Okay, so two of them are random brushes that I got when I went to New York a few years ago from Sephora. They're just two kind of random brushes, but if I'm being honest, they're basically pretty similar. They're a very dense kind of brush. The bristles aren't very soft. They've not got a lot of movement to them. So I do like them for that reason. They, like I said, they're kind of the same. They're not too different. One's just got more of that kind of uneven angle to it. But like I said, they're more dense kind of bristled brushes. And then the other brush that I love to use is the Sigma E70, which is more of a fluffy brush. The bristles are longer. I guess you could say it's just a little bit more fluffy and soft. There we go. So I do love that one as well. So I'll have all of those brushes linked down below. I will try and find these ones for you guys and link them below. For me personally, I kind of change up the brush just depending on what I want to do that day. It doesn't really matter to me. All three of those brushes are really good. Today I'm going to use this brush right here. Now let's move on to my favorite contour powder. This is, I have talked about it on my channel time after time after time. I can't go on enough about how amazing that this powder is. It is the Kevyn Sculpting powder. Now, I've owned this for a really long time. When I first got it, I looked at it and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Look how small that is. Like, I was pretty disappointed with the price of this. Then I realized that the formula is intense. Like, the formula is very pigmented. It's very buttery. It's very creamy. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So in my opinion, this is the best contour powder for your entire face. The undertone of this powder is absolute perfection for contouring, and that is the biggest thing when it comes to contouring. It's a common mistake that I see a lot. It's the biggest mistake when it comes to contouring, especially the nose, because you cannot get away with it on the nose, is using a powder that is too orange. That is your biggest mistake right there, and that is the thing that is going to make or break your nose contour. If your powder is super orange, it's gonna look ridiculous, because you can kind of get away with it if you're using a contour powder on your cheeks that's a bit orange because it's on your cheeks, but when it's on the center of your face, it looks absolutely ridiculous. And I am the first person to admit my mistakes when I was younger. I used to use something so orange on my nose contour and I looked ridiculous. But definitely the Kevyn sculpting powder, and I didn't even say what shade I use. I use the shade medium at the moment. I'm definitely going to repurchase when I run out of it. You can see I've already hit pan off this one. But yeah, 100% this is the one to go to. So let me stop talking and let me show you guys what I do. First of all, dipping into the powder and tapping it off. You really, look at all that fallout. You really want to make sure that you tap it off. Now, so I kind of start by defining the bridge of my nose really lightly, just back and forth, just all the way up to about here. Now, this is something that I again feel like is a bit of a mistake that people make. I am going to go ahead and connect it into my eyeshadow, and what that's going to do is make the contour look much more natural and much more seamless. If you just stop it here, it's going to kind of look a little odd. I'm going to blend into my eyeshadow a little bit. As you can see, I'm going to blend it in, just into my crease, just a little bit, not too much, and then come back down to my nose. There we go. And as you can see, I'm stopping the contour about here because I'm gonna, like, the tip is a whole nother thing. The tip is a whole nother like section. So stop your contour about here, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and obviously do the other side as well. I know it looks super intense right now, it looks super weird, but obviously it's not going to look like that at the end. So the next thing that I do is start to work on the tip. So dipping back into the powder, tapping it off. This is something that I feel like not everybody does when it comes to nose contouring, and you should. This is a huge thing that changed my nose contour game, for me at least, is to cover the tip with the powder, with your contour powder. And what that's gonna do is completely cut off the tip of your nose to make it look shorter, because obviously shadows kind of hide things and make things look smaller and whatever. So if you're cutting off the tip, I'll show you guys right now. I'm gonna completely kind of cover the tip of my nose here under. Like, you can actually see how far under I'm going here with the contour powder. And you can see that that's already made my nose look shorter. Now, obviously, if you don't want your nose to look shorter, you don't have to do that. You can skip that step, but that's something that I do on all of my clients, and everyone, like, I can't express it enough. Every time I do somebody's nose contour, they're like, how did you do that? Like, I'm actually gonna go back in with the powder one more time and cover that tip. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do lastly with the whole contour thing is create the button effect. Now, this is something that I've done for my entire time of doing my nose contour, because I'm not going to lie, like, I don't hate my nose. I definitely don't hate my nose, but if I could choose to be born with a different nose, my favorite nose ever is Bella Hadid. She has the cutest nose in the entire world. Like, I know that's like super weird to say. I love Bella Hadid in general, but I think she has the cutest nose because it has the little kind of like, you know, the little button thing going on, and I am obsessed with that look. So that's what I like to create. Again, if you don't want that whole thing, you don't have to do it, but this is just the way that I do it. So again, once more, dipping into the powder. Now I'm going to go ahead, and you know how I said that we stop the contour here? Now what I'm going to do is create a little line that goes across my nose like that. You will see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to connect those two little lines. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with no extra powder on the brush, it's just what's already on there. I'm going to go ahead and go from the tip of my nose here and just kind of connect that all the way through. There's no extra powder, remember, there's no extra powder on the brush. I'm just going to make sure that all of my nose contour connects. Okay, and that is basically it. And obviously now I need to go back in and blend it out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is grab the Sigma E70 brush with no extra product on the brush and just really lightly go through and blend it out a little. That's another thing that I feel like is a huge mistake, is if you don't really blend your nose contour, that's a boo-boo. You're making a boo-boo mistake there. Okay, so we have one last step to the nose contour, and this is optional, but I definitely think that it makes a huge difference. So what I'm gonna do is go in with my favorite powder in the entire world. You can use whatever powder is your favorite. Mine is the RCMA No Color powder, and what I'm gonna do is just dip a little bit of that with my beauty blender. I'm gonna use the pointy side of my beauty blender, and obviously you guys, what I'm gonna do is bake my nose contour. So I'm basically gonna go ahead and carve out there, my nose. And what this is going to do is really just kind of clean up those edges that we have. Okay, so while that is baking and doing its little thing, the next thing that I do is go ahead and highlight my nose. So my favorite brush to use is the Sigma E20. This is the short shader. It's just it's like this brush, but like a mini little version. It's very dense and it's perfect in my opinion for highlighting the nose. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the highlight that is on my cheekbones, which is also the highlight that I mentioned in my video that I just put on my favorites video. It is the Jouer highlight in Rose Quartz. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, is go ahead and highlight my nose. And also go ahead and highlight the tip. Like that. And don't worry, this will be blended out, so don't stress. It's not gonna stay like a lightning bolt on my face. We're ready for the big reveal. That's been baking for about a minute, 2 minutes or so. So now what I'm gonna do is grab my Zoeva Luxe Powder Fusion brush. It's completely like got nothing on it. I actually washed all my brushes the other night and it feels so good. It feels so good to have clean brushes. It's always one of those things like you hate it in the moment, it's like torture, but then you're so happy that they're all clean. I don't know why I said that, but this is beautiful and clean. It's really fluffy and soft. And what I'm gonna do for the grand reveal is just dust all of this powder in together. That's something that I do. I don't mind if the RCMA powder mixes in with the highlight or whatever. I just like to kind of mix it and blend it all in together. So what I'm gonna do is just really lightly dust that away. And there we go. That is my new nose. That is my fake nose job, some might say. And like I said, it's taken me a very long time over the years of practice and practice and practice and fail and fail and fail to perfect how I think my nose, like how I think a perfect nose contour should look. I'm not saying, I've said this a freaking billion times, by no means is my way the best way, but this is just what's worked for me and what works when I use it on clients. Everyone seems to love it. So it's kind of like my signature nose contour. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was actually really fun for me to do, and I have wanted to film this. I really have for a very, very, very long time. So I am gonna go. It's actually my birthday tomorrow. I'm so excited. It's my birthday, June 26th, but this video will probably be up on my birthday potentially, which is kind of weird. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please follow me on Instagram if you want to. It is at demi.rawling, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.